A lot of people probably have already covered this story, and I'm probably a lot better than we will tonight. But we have finally done something as a human race that we have never done before. And you'll remember the day where you were. No, you won't. We've landed a satellite on a frickin' comet. And it's amazing, the fact that we have this technology. Now, the device that they have out there, it's about the size of a washing machine. It's about 250 pounds. Of course, since the comet has very microgravity, it's a lot less. It's probably about like 10 pounds now. Problem was, now, when they landed the device on there, it's called the Rosetta probe, which is kind of cool because Rosetta has its own meanings throughout history. You know, there's the Rosetta Stone, and there's the Rosetta software you can buy to learn other languages, and then now
which is named after the Rosetta Stone.
Which is named after the Rosetta Stone, right? Exactly. And now we have another Rosetta that's trying to unlock the mysteries of the universe, at least comets, anyway. And when they got the probe out there, because we don't have a whole lot of knowledge of how comets are actually made up, we have some hypotheses of what they look like and what they're like on the surface. There were some problems. They built in harpoons and drilling things on not wheels, but on the lander legs, so that way when it landed, it could connect and hold on to the surface. However, because of the microgravity and because of a wax seal that didn't go away when it was supposed to be broken, so the top of it could shoot
like melt or something.
Yeah, it was supposed to melt or get punched or something. The pin
didn't
get pulled or whatever, so we got to call tech support, get them up there, and fix it. That's a long distance call.
Tech support can't hear you call in space.
In space, no one can hear tech support. Now, the lander only has about 60-hour charge of battery, and they were hoping to augment that by putting it on a bright side of the comet, but because of the microgravity and the failed seal, it bounced off, and then it fell back to the comet again in a couple different times, and it's in a location where it's a little darker and might have a possibility of moving the lander again one more time before the battery dies. But as the way things go right now, it's quite possible that any information that it's gained will be lost to us until it gets to an area that's closer to the sun where it'll get exposed to more light before the unit completely blows up from the amount of heat that it's going to be experiencing from the solar radiation. Joe, your thoughts?
It's going to blow up?
Well, not blow up. I mean, burn up. I'm sorry, burn up.
It's going to burn up?
It may burn up. That's what they were saying. Now, it's like living in The Simpsons. Everything blows up. Doesn't matter what happens. It could be a baby carriage. As soon as it hits something, boom, it blows up. So.
Well, it bumped the comet, so it's like a Ford Pinto. It's just going to explode.
I had one of those when I was
3 Ford Pinto. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually I used to live dangerously. I used to have a Ford Pinto. So hey,
Right.
You're a radical dude, Packard.
I know, ain't I though?
Well, this satellite was sent up by ESA, the European Space Agency. It's one of the best things that they've accomplished so far, which is really cool. It took 10 years to get to the comet. It was really tricky for them to plot out the path for it to get there. It had to use a few gravity assists. And like you said, as it went to touchdown, the harpoons didn't work right, and a wax seal on a thruster didn't remove itself and push the probe down onto the surface. So it did bounce. It bounced off, and they think it might have bounced 3 times.
Yes. And
so now it's sitting in this area where it's not getting as much sun as they thought it would. And if I understand correctly, its batteries should have died sometime today.
Yes.
But I might be mistaken on that.
No, you are correct. It should have been sometime tonight that they're thinking the battery should be out of juice by now.
Yeah.
They said Friday.
But
Saturday.
It's not completely lost. It has sent back a whole ton of really great pictures, really close-up pictures. I went through and looked at a whole Flickr archive they put up of them. There's just dozens of really fantastic, ghostly, spooky gray and white and black pictures of ice and dust from the surface of a comet, which we've never seen before. We've gotten ships close to them, we've photographed them from a distance, but we have never, as humanity, never gotten that close to one.
Right.
So it's definitely historic. It's definitely awesome. There's definitely some valuable science coming out of it. Yep. Even though this malfunction happened, it's still well worth the trip.
Yep. Except for unless you watch like TV shows like Star Trek, in which case they've shown comets landing on the comets for whatever reason or flying between them. Same thing.
That was Captain
Was-
Kirk. So.
In Star Trek, when the comets whip around the sun, they actually go back in time.
Yes.
Saving the whales.
Yes,
Go
they
back
save
to the
whales.
whales.
There's comets all over the place saving whales. I was down at SeaWorld last month, and there was just like a whole bunch of comets. Like, the fuck you think you're doing?
The Night of the Comet movie wasn't about the comet. It was about saving the whales.
Night of the Comet.
We'll be talking about some other bad movies tonight later in the show.
The Night of the Comet. Speaking of Star Trek, Chakotay was in Night of the Comet.
Yes,
from
he
Voyager.
was. Yeah, he was.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
Connie, your thoughts?
Yeah, unfortunately, one of the things that they wanted to do was to actually drill on this comet, and only 2 of the 3 tripod legs of this washing machine size, probe attached. And if they were to actually try and drill, basically it sounds like it'll fall over.
Yeah,
So
or it might
they're
fly off.
probably not going to be able to do that. And
Drill,
but this
baby,
is still
drill.
such an
Drill, baby, drill.
drill. And so much information that could come from that. But honestly, I'm sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, I wish that you had sent out a second or a third one in subsequent years, because you what you've learned already about landing
Yeah.
on a comet right now and positioning it could be something that you could apply to future landings, and what they've already learned, they probably can apply to future missions. And so let's team up with NASA. Come on, let's fund this stuff, guys. This is really fascinating because comets probably hold the building blocks for the universe. That's really what they're hoping to find out, because this stuff was around, eons ago, billions and billions and billions. I don't do a good Carl Sagan, but yeah.
From the formation of the solar system.
Yes, the building blocks of life.
Yeah. So.
Dawkins, Doug, and Chandler said the probe was going to take samples to analyze. Yeah, and they were worried about it if they tried to drill into it, that it would actually push the lander back off the device there, off the comet rather.
Well, even moving it, hopping it, which is what they're thinking about trying to do, like Joe was saying, to get it to go into more of the sunlight, because it's in a shadow.
Right.
It's kind of where it kind of wound up landing on this rubber ducky shaped comet, which was that was something else my mind stuck on this afternoon. I was singing Rubber Ducky in my head.
Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time
Traveling
so much
around the
fun.
sun.
Traveling around the sun.
So that's what I think. That's all I want to say about that.
Okay.
I don't think we'll ever know if they're going to find oil up there, though.
Yeah, I don't think they will either.
Well, we know it'll happen then, don't we?
We're going to go to war with a comet.
War with the comet.
Operation Comet Freedom.
We'll find it so damn insane up on the comet there. We'll go after him just because the fact is we want to get that. We want to get.
You're either with us or you're with the comet.
Right.
And now I'm seeing the movie How I Stopped Worrying and Learned to Love the Bomb, or whatever. Tex Avery writing them.